Have you ever noticed how some people don't just tolerate being alone? They prefer it? They cancel plans and feel relief. They spend a whole weekend by themselves and feel recharged. And when someone says, "Don't you get lonely?" they honestly think, "Not really." So what makes them different? Here's the psychology behind people who like being alone. 1. They don't confuse silence with emptiness. Most people treat silence like a problem that needs to be fixed. They fill it with noise, scrolling, talking, background TV, anything. But people who like being alone don't panic in silence. Because silence doesn't feel empty to them, it feels clear. Psychologically, this is tied to comfort with internal awareness. They're able to sit with their own thoughts without immediately needing distraction. And that's rare, because most people aren't scared of being alone. They're scared of what they'll hear when it's quiet. 2. They recharge differently. Some people gain energy from being around others. That's not a personality flex. It's biology. It's how their nervous system regulates stimulation. But people who like being alone often have lower social energy tolerance. Not because they dislike people, but because social interaction requires constant processing, reading tone, reading faces, managing responses. And after a while, that mental effort becomes fatigue. This connects to introversion and sensory sensitivity. Your brain burns energy faster in social environments. So solitude isn't isolation, it's recovery. 3. They value autonomy more than approval. People who enjoy being alone usually don't need constant external feedback to feel okay. They don't need a crowd to validate their choices. They don't need a group chat to confirm their feelings, because their identity is more internally anchored. Psychologically, this is linked to intrinsic motivation and internal locus of control. They feel safest when they control their time, their space, and their emotional pace. So being alone feels like freedom, not loneliness. 4. They crave depth, not constant connection. Here's the misunderstood part. People who like being alone aren't always antisocial. They're often just selective. They'd rather have one real conversation than 10 shallow ones. They'd rather be alone than feel emotionally drained in a room full of people. This ties to emotional intelligence and social filtering, knowing which relationships nourish you and which ones deplete you. So they don't chase connection. They wait for meaningful connection. And when it's not there, they choose solitude without guilt. Quick pause. If you want a deeper breakdown of the hidden psychological triggers that shape what you avoid, what drains you, and why certain social situations feel too much, I made a long video called 50 Psychological Triggers That Control Your Life. It's linked in the description, and it connects perfectly with this topic. 5. They've learned self-soothing. A lot of people need others to regulate their emotions. They need company to calm down. They need reassurance to feel stable. But people who like being alone often know how to soothe themselves. They can sit with sadness without running from it. They can feel stress without immediately needing someone to fix it. This is tied to emotional regulation, the ability to manage your inner world without outsourcing it. And it's one of the strongest signs of psychological maturity. The takeaway: if you love being alone, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It might mean you're wired for depth, for calm, for autonomy, for real connection, not constant connection. And in a world that's always loud, always online, always performing, choosing solitude can be a form of intelligence. If this video made you feel seen, hit like, subscribe to Human Codex, and check out our other videos on human behavior, emotional intelligence, and the hidden rules people live by. And if you want the deeper dive, 50 Psychological Triggers That Control Your Life is linked in the description, and I'll put it on the end screen too. Catch you in the next one.